Hello, Instagram. Hello, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Let's go. You know the drill. The records are now open. Welcome to the Winter Solstice episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. I love spending Wednesdays with you all. I love spending every normal Wednesday with you, but we are at a very auspicious time of the year, specifically today with Winter Solstice. And we are going to use this time to activate within our records, reflecting on what some of the biggest lessons have been. If you will activate your divine feminine and reflect on lessons that you are learning, the speed at which you will grow and create what you want to create here on the planet will absolutely explode. So I'm so happy you're here. Please say hello to me once you get here, like my mama and like Jim. What's up, mama? Everybody say hi to mom as well. And say hi to Jim too. Jim, I love it that you are leaving me these early hellos. And take a cue from Jim. Let us know where you are tuning in from. And this will be the first activation, your clairvoyance activation, clear inner seeing, which we are going to use today to see what is unseen and allow ourselves to learn and grow as we begin to acknowledge and understand our lessons. All right, I am coming to you. Hey, look who's here. It's Apollo. Hey, dude. You distract me. 1 second. I gotta put Apollo out. He'll probably yell too. Out you going, chat? All right, welcome back. We are going to dive in together to the Akashic Records, and I have some exciting news to share with you all. A freebie that I want you to know about. I want you to know about a program coming up, and I want you to start typing in your questions so that even if I don't get to your specific question today, that you will invite forward the intelligence from your Akashic Records. So if you're a first timer here, by the way, who's a first timer? Let us know if you're a first timer. We got extra special presents for first timers when they come in. If this is the first time you're here, I would love to give you some context and background about the Akashic Records. But first, thank you, whether it's the first time you're here or the 100th time you're here. Thank you for following your intuition, your internal GPS system, your guidance to this sacred space, because there is intelligence that is going to come forward for you in this space, whether I answer your question or not. It's how the Akashic Records work. The Akashic Records is a database of all intelligence forward and backward through time, every detail of your soul, past, present, all possible futures. So the answers to your biggest challenges, why you've agreed to these challenges and what you need to learn and what you need to do to move forward, all of that intelligence is available here for you today simply by asking, whether I answer it or not. That's how the records work. You ask a question, they respond. Okay, I grew up very Southern Baptist, immersed in Christianity and the church, and there's a lot of relevance that I learned in the Bible to what I have learned in the Akashic Records. Ask and it is given. Who remembers that from the Bible? Send some hearts across the screen if you remember that. That's the same idea of the divine intelligence that we're working with here inside the Akash is ask and it is given. Okay, I realized Apollo jumped up as I was sharing with you the reason why I want you to type in where you're from and why I'm inviting everyone to begin to see these pinpoints of light illuminating. This will activate your clairvoyance, your clear inner vision, as well as strengthen the grid work of intelligence, of aha moments that we get to share here together today. The truth is we are all one being. We are all the same being. And we get to ignite each other during this particular time in our evolutionary progression as humans, as galactic beings. We get to ignite each other and help each other remember the truth of who we are. One of our forgotten abilities is that we have the ability to access superconscious intelligence at any moment. You can get an answer to anything that is challenging you in your life, from health to relationships to your job. You can get ideas to innovate, downloads. Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla both would tap into this space to bring in superconscious intelligence, help them understand how the universe is operating in a more dynamic context so that they know how to use this information. And that's the presence that you are all here sharing with me together today. So let's dive in. Get your questions rolling. I see a lot of you already have your questions rolling all up in this space. I want to invite you to share this out. Those of you who share this out, your name is going to be entered into a drawing to win free training in your Akashic Records. I've created a certification program to teach every single human out there who's ready to learn how to tap into this space, how to remember this aspect of your innate knowledge and intelligence. And because this is a season of giving, we are giving away a training package every single Friday. In order to be entered into that drawing, I want you to share this out. Okay? Couple more announcements. I have a really exciting workshop that I want to invite you all into next week that's going to help you plan for the exact 2023 that you want to experience. We're going to be doing it in the Akashic Records. But I feel like I've been talk without answering questions for too long. So we're going to answer a couple questions, and then I will tell you about the workshop next week. Deal? Deal. All right, let's go. All right, I'm going to ask Spirit to bring my awareness to questions that will serve our collective here. April, thank you for being here. How can I let go of doubting myself as a mother? Great question. I want to also, first of all, everybody out there who is a parent or a role model of some sort, what the guides are saying is that when we assume a role or a position as a mother or a father or as a guide in some form or fashion, what we're doing is we're only looking at part of that role. So for general categorization sake, what's the same about all these roles? Mother, father, way shower, guide. We're teachers, right? We're here to teach and pass on intelligence. What we can recognize that will help us is that we're here to learn as well. We're here to learn from our children. We're here to learn from our clients. And if we can remember that we are here to learn just as much as we are to teach and to guide, we'll begin to balance that energy where we doubt ourselves. Make sense? Seeing the bigger picture will alleviate all of that doubt. If this is making sense to you, send some love, likes, hearts across the screen. Right? The reason, okay, the guys want to talk first about the reason that we're doubting, and then they want to have a review. Winter solstice is really about a review time, a time of going inward, a time of reflection. And if you will pause to reflect, again, I promise you, you will become 10 times smarter. You will evolve 10 times, probably 100 times faster than if you fail to reflect and say, hey, what did I learn from that? Okay, so let me just make a note to go back and reflect. Because you all know how I roll here. I get, when I do this, it means I'm channeling guidance coming in from the records, and I can forget to go back and do the important things that they tell me. Okay, so the guides want to speak about where the doubt comes from when we are in these roles as teacher. Kindness and gratitude adventures, yes. Pop your questions in the comments, please. Why do we doubt ourselves when we are in a particular role? It's because we are looking at the negative, and we are looking, and the negative is there to be a part of the process. Everything that you do, there's going to be positive and negative. There's going to be light and dark. You will not escape it because you have incarnated on a planet of density, a 3D planet, where, you know why you can't escape it? Because we have night and day, as above, so below. We have North and South Pole that hold the whole thing in place, right? So you're not going to escape the challenge, the constriction, the dark aspects of any role that you're playing. So what we need to learn to do is look at them differently. And rather than looking at the negative and playing out these old programs over and over and over again that says, I'm not doing this right, I'm not good enough, I'm messing them up. And we need to ask ourselves different questions. How would I have liked to? So let's say, April, and your guides are inviting you, and anybody else who this is resonating with, play along. The guides are speaking to everyone. April is just inviting us all to learn this intelligence together. So send some love, likes, hearts across the screen for April and all moms out there, and dads and teachers and way showers. So I want you to think about an experience where you were the one in charge, you were the way shower, you were the teacher, you were the parent, and you effed it up. You messed it up. Okay? I want to invite you to come in and reflect now and get clear in your mind. How would I have liked to have shown up in that situation? What would have felt really good for me? Okay, think about that. How would I have liked to shown up instead? And by the way, we're doing time travel work right now. I know it feels like we're just showing up, hanging out here together on social media, and April asked this question. And so now we're uncovering it and we're dissecting it. And we're talking about it. I'm going to invite you to fully participate right now, because what you're being invited to do is to time travel, which is absolutely possible in the space of your records. We are moving our consciousness, our awareness to another point in the time-space reality. Okay. You follow me? Send some love like hearts across the screen if you follow me. If you're like, oh, I get it. Yes, I am time traveling right now, Emily. Okay. It's good for you to be able to see your multidimensionality and understand what it feels like when it's happening in the moment. Because it can feel very much like real life. And we expect time travel to feel very altered in some way. Right? For those of you who don't know, I spent 20 years of my life as a Hollywood actress, and I can't tell, it was weird. Like I would get to set with Gary Sinise. That's kind of, that's an older A-list name. That may be dating myself just a little bit, but I spent time working on CSI New York. And I remember being on set with Gary Sinise and these big name actors. Penelope Ann Miller was working that week that I was there. And there was this interesting juxtaposition of, oh my God, pinch me. And why does this feel so normal? I just feel like Emily, and I was nervous driving to set this morning, and I'm excited because I get to go into hair and makeup and at least look really good while I'm here. And it felt very normal as well as surreal at the same time. Maybe when I just brought your awareness to the understanding that we're time traveling, you had a bit of a surreal moment. Also juxtaposed with, yeah, but it feels very much like my normal real life too. Yes, both of those exist in the same space, light and dark, duality. That's what it looks like. Okay, so back to time traveling. I want you to go back to an experience where you were the teacher, the mother, the father, the way shower, and you effed it up. I work with a lot of visionaries here, a lot of coaches, spiritual coaches, and wisdom keepers. And you know how we learn? By effing it up with our clients as we go along. Challenge or doing something wrong is one of our best teachers here on the planet. And once we learn to embrace that, and we can teach our children, hey, I wish that I would have done it this way. You know, I was thinking about that incident that happened the other day when I was yelling at you, and I realized I was triggered because I was really stressed about things that feel out of my control. And I let the stress get to me. I let it build up in my body instead of breathing. And I wasn't really upset at you, but my nervous system, I hadn't taken proper care of myself, and my nervous system was wrecked. And I responded in a way that I didn't want to respond. How much beautiful teaching is in that moment? And in order to do that, we have to let go of the shame. Okay, so step one is traveling back in time and recognizing how would I have preferred to do that. And get clear on that. How would I have preferred to show up? As you do this and you're traveling back in time and you're thinking about how you wish you would have showed up, you are actually changing what happened in the past. Who's heard of the Mandela effect? Mandela effect. Mandela like Nelson Mandela, not mandala like beautiful sacred geometry and such. Mandela, like Nelson Mandela. We have a split memory in our society of who remembers Nelson Mandela dying in jail and who remembers him being released from prison. What the Akashic Records have shared with me is that as more and more people wake up on the planet and we begin doing this kind of quantum work, which is really self-healing and self-reflection and clearing our karma, we're up-leveling, we're evolving. But the more we do it, and when you travel back in time like this and you say, how would I have preferred to show up? You are creating ripples in the space-time continuum in the collective memory bank that are shifting. And so when people are doing this kind of spiritual work, that's why we're getting the Mandela effect. Just fun facts to know and tell about how this quantum work ripples into all of our reality. Okay. All right. I know this is very woo-woo so far. It's woo-woo and it's grounded all at the same time, but I want to bring this super grounded for you all. Let's bring in some logic. Let's bring in some tactics, some strategy. Let's look at the gap from how you showed up in the way that you didn't want to show up into, and look at how you just determined that you would have liked to have shown up in that instance. And let's examine the negative space, the gap between how you showed up and how you want to show up next time. Ask your innate intelligence right now and notice what pops into your mind. What do I need to do to get from here to here? From where I was to where I want to be? Write that down. Generally, things come in 3 steps. If you get 1 step, great. If you get 10 steps, you might be making it too challenging. Boil it down to 3. Cool. Good work. Now, what we want to do is we want to erase the somatic memory of shame that comes up when we do this work. Or when we're noticing, or when we behave some way. Sorry, it's not shame about doing the work. Let me take 2 on that one. We want to erase the somatic memory of shame that happens when we don't show up the way we want to be or in our fullest and highest potential. And furthermore, shame is just a pattern that's repeating itself over and over and over again, because that's what patterns do. They repeat themselves. And shame will keep you imprisoned to your old way of being, because shame is the lowest vibrational frequency on the consciousness map. Yes, there is a consciousness map that rates how human is out of us, that rates from the lowest density up into the highest vibrational frequency of the feelings that we can feel. And the important thing to know is shame is on the very, very bottom. And it will suck all motivation out of you for moving forward. All right. So we want to work in, interesting that April brought this conversation forward by examining her role as a mother. We want to work on the womb space or the sexual reproductive organs. If you're a man, you don't have a womb there. But what we do all have in common as humans is a sacral chakra. That's the orange colored chakra that exists in this lower gut area. It's orange in color. And the sacral chakra is where we store unprocessed emotions. We can't evolve up into the higher frequencies of 5D, which is basically where our baseline frequency is peace, love, and joy. We are at a place of relaxation at all moments because we trust the universe and we trust and know and understand our ability to co-create with the universe. But right now, we're still in these states of evolution where we're learning and remembering about the truth of who we are. And we're seeing what is unseen, which is we've spent the majority of our life stuffing emotions that we don't feel like dealing with, or that we don't know how to deal with because it's too painful. So working here on the sacral chakra, I want you to lay this is my right hand on the front, left hand on the back of the womb space. And we're going to take 3 nice deep breaths. And I want you to imagine all unprocessed emotion, especially shame, moving outward into your hands. Some of it may move out the front, some may move out the back. Deep breath in. Exhaling. As you exhale, see if you can feel the energy moving into the hands. It might exit out the front, it might exit out the back. Good. Take another deep breath in. Exhaling. Tune your subtle energy. See if you can feel it in your hands. If you can't, just imagine that you can feel it. Let me shut off my notifications. Thank you for hanging with me there, Instagram, while I got a call. One last deep breath in, exhaling. Again, feel the energy moving into your hands, or imagine you can feel it. Just imagining is turning on your subtle energy body. All right. All of that energy that's in the hands now, flick it off. Give it back to Mother Earth. Mother Earth knows exactly what to do to transmute all of this energy. Who's feeling better after that? Thank you so much, April. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I would love you guys to type in the comments. Let me know how that is moving and shifting for you in your field. What are you noticing? Trisha says, yeah, we've all messed up something in life, but we can make it better, right? We are adults. If we've got children, we do all we can for them. Beautiful, Trisha. Yes. Good. Nailed it. Yeah, Trisha, I love how you're interacting here. Thank you so much. It makes the show more fun for me. So guys, let it rip on here when you come in and you're joining me. Trisha says, I keep time traveling. Same people with different outcomes. Yeah, it's really interesting what we experience. No sound. Okay, I apologize, Instagram. It does look like we are having some trouble up here on Instagram with keeping a solid feed. So Instagram, if you want to come join on Facebook, although you can't hear me saying come join me on Facebook because there's no sound. How do I act out Facebook? Facebook. That was brutal. All right. Thank you all for being present and ready to rock and roll no matter what kind of technological support we have happening here. We always need a really strong bandwidth coming into this space. Let's hear it for April. Send some love like hearts across the screen. All right, everybody. I want to take just a moment and talk to you about a little more woo. We talked about time traveling. Let's talk about quantum leaping. So earlier this week, I had incredible downloads coming in, and I started channel writing as fast as my hand could write. I'm pretty sure there was smoke coming out of the pen as I was going. And what was coming through was inviting you all into an opportunity to quantum leap into 2023. So next week, December 29th, that's a Thursday, from 12 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's a 2.5-hour workshop. I am going to take you into your Akashic Records, and we are going to download what is the highest timeline for your 2023. It will come into your imagination. I have some secrets that I'm going to share with you and some processes I'm going to take you through so you will shift your consciousness and tap in to the space of your Akashic Records. And from this space, again, we are going to co-create and put on the calendar your perfect year for 2023. If you are somebody who is freaking out because there is a recession that's being prophesied, how many of you are freaking out a little bit about that, by the way? How many of you have seen evidence of this coming or heard of people prophesying and talking about this coming? And you get pissed off because you don't want to be limited by collective fear. I noticed that's what I was feeling. And I would see Tony Robbins talk about this, and I'm like, dude. And yet, pressure without vision will create a heart attack. Pressure with vision will create a diamond. That's when I began to realize if we're moving into this time where there is collective pressure and you are clear and focused and have vision about what you want to create, you will actually create it faster. So you don't have to worry about what's happening on the outside. How many of you would love to be so sovereign and free in your energy that it doesn't matter what happens on a day-to-day basis for you to show up happy in the 5D peace, love, and joy? I'm going to shut off Instagram. It's not, sorry, Instagrammers, it's not staying. We're not keeping a strong signal there. We'll just share the replay with them later. And then I could just keep my eye line here and keep looking at you all instead of keep looking up there. So who would love to be so sovereign in their energy that it doesn't matter what's happening in the outside world? It doesn't matter politically. It doesn't matter in your family. It doesn't matter where you work. You get to show up and choose your own vibrational frequency. That is true freedom right there, by the way. And that will keep you in a space of miracle consciousness where you can create whatever it is you want to create. I'm going to show you how I've learned to hold this consciousness. Holding this consciousness has helped me make over $1 million doing this work as a healer. I'm going to show you how I do it. This one still kind of blows my mind. I'm like, oh, wow, this does really work. The very first in-person retreat that I ever created happened during COVID and shut down on the planet. So if that's not learning how to hold sovereignty when the outside world is presenting something different, I don't know what is. What I'm going to teach you in this workshop is also what my clients have used to write novels that have won awards. This is how they have stopped working in a timeline where they're working corporate and learning how to create their own business. Similar to me, I didn't work corporate before I did this. I worked Hollywood. About as far from corporate as you can get. Interesting timeline, though, that one, Hollywood, right? I'm going to teach you the exact same methods, and we're going to do them in real time. I left the link for you all. It's $44.44. If any of you have been my students before, you know that is a heck of a deal. My programs start at $1,400 and they go up to $96K. So this is your opportunity to join me for real-time creation in your Akashic Records and see what happens to you in 2023. This is also for you if you're on information overload and you're burnt out from all the spiritual fluff that's out there trying to manifest this and manifest that and it's not working. This is going to change the game for you because I'm going to keep it focused, simple, and effective. You're going to be super clear about what's possible for you to create and what you want to create. I promise you this is simple. You can do this even if you do not consider yourself psychic. And effective. This is foolproof. And this is not genie in a bottle kind of stuff. There's a formula to what I'm going to teach you. It's a repeatable formula, so you can do it over and over and over again with any aspect of your life that you want to change. But you have to be willing to show up and do the work. Okay? Join me for that. There will be a replay. I left the link in there for you. Who's excited about that, by the way? Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen. And we're going to dive into more questions here. All right. Michelle Lynn Hess. Hi, I am in Louisiana and would love to see where my relationship is going. All right, Michelle, let's tap in for you. Anybody else, by the way, who wants to see where their relationship is going, I'm going to invite you to just lay your hand on your heart and breathe deeply and think about your relationship right now. And as I begin to channel in intelligence from Michelle, notice where your mind goes and what your mind shows you about your potential relationship. Okay. If you do not have a romantic relationship that you want to inquire about right now, maybe you want to inquire about your relationship with money. Maybe you want to inquire about your relationship with your health or your relationship with your job. Everything is in relationship around here. Okay. All right, so Michelle wants to be able to see where her relationship is going. All right, so the first thing, Michelle, that the guides want to say is that if you do not open up the third eye and consciously see and ask questions and participate with the experience, then what's actually happening is you're on autopilot and you're going to continue to play out karmic cycles. Let me know if this is resonating. So any of you who are looking at your relationship with money or your relationship with your job or your relationship with your health, you're going to get what you've always gotten. Unless you open up the third eye or expand your vision and begin to consciously co-create with what it is that you want to experience. Okay? Here's how you do that, the guides are saying. First of all, you need to recognize what subconscious patterns are on autopilot. These subconscious patterns can be patterns that you learned from your parents. They can be patterns that you brought in from a past life or karma. Karma is an unlearned lesson. Karma that you did not clear from a previous lifetime. Or they can be survival mechanisms that you took on and you like as a safety, as a survival mechanism. For example, if people made fun of you and it caused you to pull back from being fully self-expressed, if that pattern is what's on autopilot for you, it's going to continue to play out again in this relationship. Michelle, I don't think that that's any coincidence that that was the intelligence or the verbiage, the vocabulary that the guides gave me. So perhaps that resonates with you. That's the pattern that's playing on autopilot. Is there's part of yourself that you are afraid to be to fully let somebody else see. If you're working with money, it's likely there's an aspect of how much money you want to make that you are not fully claiming because you feel embarrassed or ashamed of yourself for wanting that much, desiring that much. Okay. If it's in a job, this likely translates to having a job that is not in divine alignment with the truth of who you are, and you're not really happy in that job. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So the trajectory or where these relationships are going is the same old place they've been going before, leading to your unhappiness and unfulfillment and ultimately depression. I often say, stay till the end when you come into this space because the lessons are going to build on each other. The guides want us to go back to the previous exercise that April brought forward for us, where we were looking at how we blew it in a situation and where we, how we wanted to show up. If we could have a take two, yes, life really is like Hollywood. If we could have a take two, how would we show up differently? How would we rewrite the script? The guys want to do that right now for the future and for where our relationships are going. How would you like to show up in your relationship? If you could show up, let's imagine that you were in a dream. How many of you know about lucid dreaming? Lucid dreaming is where you wake up within a dream and you begin to direct the dream. So let's take a look at these relationships, whatever relationship you're working with, like if it's like Michelle, who's working with a romantic relationship, or if it's like any of the rest of you who are working with money, health, or career. How would you like to show up if you were able to wake up within the dream? Oh man, I'm dreaming right now. I can do anything. I could run and jump off that cliff and just fly. Flapping my wings for you. What would that look like? And I want you to take a moment to get clear about that. Close your eyes, look up gently underneath the eyes. And by looking up gently, you should begin to notice a flurrying or a fluttering of the eyes. This is actually activating theta brainwaves, which are the brainwaves you're using in dream time when you say, hey, I'm going to go take off and fly. And no part of you says, hey, that ain't going to work. Rather, you say, oh, yeah, let's try it. This is your opportunity right now to lucid dream your life, to wake up within the dream that is row, row, row your boat. Gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream, for those of you who were a little slow in following. Okay? Closing the eyes, looking up underneath the eyes. Let's do it together for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, same question next to bring this from absolute Wooville. We're hanging out together in a sci-fi movie right here on social media. And let's move it into the logical world. Okay? 3 steps. Nice deep breath in. On the exhale, I want you to arrive at the intelligence, the 3 steps that will get you from where you are now to where you want to be. What 3 steps do I need to take? Deep breath in. Exhale. Keep your mind clear, 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 until you're all the way at the end of the exhale. And then the first 3 things that come into your mind, write them down. And they may seem ridiculously simple, like drink more water, eat more carrots. A carrot grows in the ground. It's a root vegetable. It helps you to ground. It helps you to bring more of the Mother Earth energy, the embodiment or creation. This planet is abundant. That carrot was grown from a little bitty seed. How magical is that? We are desensitized to how magical this experience is. You know what a carrot seed looks like? Like it looks like if I took one piece of hair and clipped off, 1/32 of an inch. That's what a carrot seed looks like. You put that in the ground, sunshine, water, the magic of this planet, and it grows. Mother Earth is a magical rock that contains the energy of embodiment and creation. You get to become these seeds that you're planting. Guys, feeling some hope? Send some hearts across the screen for hope. Yes, thank you. I'm feeling it with you. Okay, carrots are also orange. They're connected to the sacral chakra. Y'all hear, send some hearts across the screen if you hear Apollo yelling out there. Hey, quiet down, kitty. I'm not even going to say he breaks my concentration because I'm not going to make that true. Okay, just buzz myself back in to this sci-fi movie that we're all hanging out in here together today. Okay, I'm back. Carrots are orange. And anytime you eat a food that is in the color of an area where you've been working on clearing or healing your body, you get extra healing in that area. So that will help with that womb or creation energy. It will help clear out and reset where you've been storing a lot of negative, unprocessed emotion and open up space for you to safely experience peace, love, joy, ecstasy, abundance, all of the things that you don't have room to experience because you've stuffed the shame in there. Not anymore. We got rid of that stuff today. We just shoot it right on out of here. That was awesome. Thank you, Michelle. I would love to know again how this is resonating with you all. Michelle, how's that feel? Cool. Whew. All right, let's go in and take one more question. Trisha says, I might need help with this jump. That'll be a big one. Leap, that's the name of our program, is Leap. The link that I left you, you can sign up and you can experience a quantum leap with, but I think I did say space is limited. We're only limiting this to 100 signups. So if you want to be a part of that, you should definitely dive in and be a part of that. All right, I'm just now seeing this here, Michelle. You talk about being worried about your relationship. Yeah, because those subconscious patterns are continuing to play out. But if you did this work, you've shifted it. And that doesn't mean that this relationship is going to be exactly what you want it to be, by the way, but it means you no longer have to be on this timeline where you are learning these lessons. Make sense? The relationship could shift and turn into a really beautiful, this is the one. I use that term loosely because once we understand the bigger picture of how we interact in each other's lives, I think the nature of our relationships and how we define successful relationships here on the planet is going to change dramatically. Or, Michelle, now that you have seen and understood the gap and the 3 things you need to do, start doing those 3 things, and you might jump into a different timeline where there's a different partner waiting for you. If this makes sense, type "makes sense." Everybody who this is making sense to, please type "makes sense" into the comments. If you have more questions about this, don't hesitate to type that in. Deborah says, is there a replay? Yes, Deb, there is a replay. Published author, one of my previous clients there, Deborah J. Williams, has a beautiful book where she has channelings that come in, light language, poetry. Will give you shivers, by the way. Okay, Sylvia says, I would like to get some insight on a creative job search and spiritual path. Awesome. All right, so the first thing that the guides are saying, Sylvia, is that these things need to go together. Our creative job search and our spiritual path. There's a reason that you put them in the same sentence here. And the guides are saying you weren't necessarily seeing them both together, or maybe you were, but maybe you were hoping that they could be the same thing. This is inviting you to claim that as the same thing. Your job and the vehicle to which you expand spiritually or consciously. They need to be the same thing. And furthermore, the guides are saying we need to think of our vehicle of conscious expansion as aligned or congruent with everything in our life, not just our job, but also our relationships with each other, with ourselves, our finances. These are all aspects for our spiritual evolution. Say amen if this is making sense. All right. It's finding alignment in all of these areas. If you are somebody out there who you see yourself as your job being something in the spiritual arts, but it's not yet, let me know in the comments with just a heart emoji. Okay. If you are somebody who you don't love the job that you're in right now and you feel like something in the spiritual healing arts, wisdom keeping, shaman, quantum, schism, theta, healing, yogi, something or other. That's what it looks like in the beginning. You're not even sure what it is. It doesn't really even have a name. If that's you, put a heart in the comments. Because this is a time where spiritual wisdom keepers are emerging. We're designed to be self-led in our own quantum growth. We've got to become leaders, all of us, in order to really make a difference and a shift and to free ourselves on this planet. You must take responsibility for your own self-leadership. I feel like the guys just want that to sink in for a second. You must take responsibility to lead yourself. What the Akashic Records is here to help you do is to tap in and fill in the gaps. And so remembering how to tap into this ancient technology just might be your next best step to figuring out all of these areas where there's questionability about what your future looks like. Okay. The guides are saying we are designed to be creative beings. We are designed to create and leave legacy here on the planet. Because when we create, which we're doing all the time anyway, you guys get this? You're creating the shit life that you're living right now, if you're living a shit life. Not saying that you all live in a shit life, okay? But there are definitely aspects of our life that feel really enlightened and going well, and there are aspects that feel like they're just doo-doo. We're creating all of it anyway. And what will happen is that we will begin to create with consciousness, with focus, and with specificity, because we've taken time to reflect and to say, what's working? What's not working? What's important to me? Getting to know yourself. And Sylvia, that's where the guides want to point you right now. And anybody else who is resonating with this intelligence, it's time to start learning more about yourself. If you're searching for anything in your life, you're searching for a new job, you're searching for a partner, you're searching for spirituality, it's time to just get to know yourself. Start asking yourself reflection questions. It's so much more productive. I'm gonna use, anybody else out there love say yes to the dress? I seriously think that I designed wedding dresses in a past life, because I used to make my Barbie dolls wedding dresses out of napkins and toilet paper when I was a kid. You know how much more productive your appointment in Kleinfeld is going to go if you walk in. Well, first of all, if you got a picture of your dress, it's going to go a lot smoother. If you know what it is that you're looking for and what you like, it's going to go a lot smoother. If you're going in with the idea of I'll know it when I see it, yeah, good luck. You're going to be there. Your episode is not going to air, because you're going to be all over the place and you're not going to get to the point where you say yes to the dress. And if you don't say yes to the dress, Rhonda says my husband's favorite show. Right on. If you don't say yes to the dress, the chances of your episode airing are. If you don't, trust me, guys, I know how to not get left on the cutting room floor, the editing floor. You get cut right out of the show if you do that. All right. Sylvia says, thank you so much for reminding me that you have to go within and trust myself. Yes. And once you're clear about what it is that you want to experience, even in your spirituality, get clear about what you want to experience. Maybe you're very clear. I want to know why I have this disease. Great. I can help you find the answers to that by teaching you how to tap into your Akashic Records and showing you how to get information and ask. I cannot tell you what that answer is. That is not my job. Okay? If you're very clear that in your next step of spirituality, you want to learn how to visit your past lives so that you can understand these past lives, I can teach you how to tap into the Akashic Records, where you can ask those questions and you can get that knowledge. This is the age of evolution that we are entering, where the self-leadership that I'm talking about, where you can learn to tap in and do these things yourself. And as soon as you get crystal clear on what these things are that you want to experience, and you learn to hold that vibration, it is the law of the mental plane that what exists in your subconscious mind must appear in your reality. That's what we're going to be doing in LEAP. So make sure that you get signed up if you want to sign up for that. I hear my kiddos coming home. What time is it? Holy crap. We have been on almost an hour. I love hanging out with you guys here. Sylvia says, we have a vision and intention of creating into reality. Excellent. All right, everybody. I am so happy that you are here. Fill, pour, repeat. I love it. Where do I sign up for the class on the 29th? I'm typing the link back in here. And if you are interested in that program, it's called LEAP. and you did not see, because I see the link, it's like it either is a hyperlink or it isn't a hyperlink. It's hard to read and figure out that's where I type to go to Leap. So if you are technologically challenged and you want me to make it easy for you and my team to make it easy for you, just type the words Leap in the comments and we will make sure that we send you the link where you can get signed up. I love you all. Thank you for being here. In service to all of us here together, fellow humans, every Wednesday, happy winter solstice. Thank you for being here. April, Michelle, Sylvia, everyone who asked questions. And by the way, if you asked questions in the comments and I didn't get to them, pay attention to the universe. The universe will answer them for you. I'm just a servant of the universe showing up to do some answering. The answers will drop in for you. That is the nature of the Akashic Records. Ask and you will receive. All right. I love you all. Nancy, you said here, are you guiding into the records tomorrow? It's not tomorrow. It's next Thursday, Nancy. And yes, all of the work that we do for this quantum leap in creating your 2023 will happen within your Akashic Records. You know, I've talked a lot this week. I can't help it but to stay a little bit longer. I want to tell you guys some more. Because Nancy really triggered this awareness to come in. Everybody thank Nancy, because you're about to get your mind blown with what the guides want to say next. Thank you, Nancy. The guides are really thanking you for bringing this up. What you've experienced today with the Akashic Records, you've experienced two things. You've experienced extracting intelligence, which means we're downloading it. You've experienced how you can get real-time quantum medicine. What do I do next? What does it look like? A protocol to heal yourself, to shift things. I love you too. From your Akashic Records. Here's the other cool thing. The records exist in infinite possibility. We're writing them as well. We're uploading as well. So next Thursday when we meet, not only are you going to download a bigger vision of what is possible, you're going to upload. You are going to communicate back to the records. No, this is the timeline I want to experience. And most of us have not taken the time to study and understand this quantum intelligence so that we know that this is a possibility. But we are constantly uploading intelligence about how it's going down here, the greatest experiment in the galaxy, by the way. Human beings are the most advanced piece of galactic technology that there is. And that's why all eyes are on humanity right now. That's why we have so much help and so much assistance. And the crazy thing is, most of us down here are asleep to our power and how amazing we truly are. What an awesome time to be on the planet and wake up within the dream. This winter solstice where you go inward, you're going to get to know yourself more dynamically than ever before. Thank you for being here. If this has served you today, please share this out. And I love you all so much. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. And I'm excited to see you back here again next Wednesday and then Thursday too. All right. I love you all.